Maybe you cut calories, maybe you started walking more, maybe you even gave up desserts, and yet your belly fat stays the same, your cravings are stronger than ever, and by afternoon you feel like someone unplugged your battery. Here's the uncomfortable truth. It may not be the obvious junk food stopping your fat loss. It may be the hidden carb showing up every single day in foods marketed as healthy, light, whole grain, or low fat. And while you think you're making smart choices, that hidden carb may be quietly triggering insulin over and over again. Here's what's really going on inside your body. Insulin is a storage hormone. Its job is to move energy into cells and protect you from high blood sugar. That sounds helpful, and it is. But when insulin stays elevated too often, your body gets one clear signal. Do not burn stored fat. Store more. That means you can be eating less, exercising harder, and still feel stuck. This is why so many people blame themselves when the real issue is physiology. It's not always about willpower. It's often about hormonal signaling. And one of the biggest reasons insulin stays elevated is not candy bars or soda. Those are obvious. It's the hidden carbs in sauces, snacks, healthy cereals, flavored yogurt, oat milk drinks, protein bars, and constant grazing throughout the day. In this video, I'm going to show you the hidden carb most people miss, why insulin blocks fat burning, how healthy foods can sabotage progress, what the research shows about meal timing and cravings, how to lower insulin naturally, and simple daily strategies to restart fat loss safely, because once you understand the signal, you can finally change the outcome. Let's start with the most important concept in this entire conversation. Your body cannot efficiently burn stored fat when insulin is high. That one principle explains why so many people feel trapped. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Imagine your body has two fuel tanks. The first tank is the food you just ate, glucose from carbohydrates, circulating energy in the bloodstream. The second tank is your stored body fat, your backup reserve, designed to power you between meals. Insulin is the switch that decides which tank you use. When insulin rises, your body prioritizes burning incoming fuel and storing extra energy. When insulin falls, your body gains access to the second tank, stored fat. So if insulin is elevated all day from repeated carb exposure, sweet drinks, snacks, or frequent eating, you rarely switch into fat-burning mode. That means the problem is not just how much you eat, it's whether your body can access stored energy. What the research shows is that elevated insulin levels are strongly associated with weight gain, insulin resistance, and metabolic dysfunction. Chronically high insulin can precede rising blood sugar by years, which means many people are already struggling metabolically before glucose tests ever become abnormal. This is why some people say, I'm eating only 1,500 calories and still not losing weight. Often the missing piece is hormonal access to fat stores. If insulin remains high, hunger tends to rise because the body senses energy is stored but unavailable, so you feel tired and hungry at the same time. That's not lack of discipline, that's mixed metabolic signaling. Now here's where hidden carbs enter the picture. Many people avoid obvious sugar, but they start the day with cereal, toast, granola, flavored yogurt, juice, oat-based drinks, or healthy snack bars. Each one can raise insulin, especially when eaten frequently. Then by lunch they're hungry again. Then another snack, then dinner, then dessert. So insulin barely gets a chance to come down. This is why timing matters almost as much as food quality. Here's a practical protocol. Eat full meals instead of grazing. Prioritize protein first at each meal. Remove liquid calories. Avoid sweet snacks between meals. Leave 4 to 5 hours between meals when possible. Finish eating earlier in the evening, if tolerated. Even one day of lowering insulin spikes can improve appetite control for many people. And this is where real momentum begins, because once the body trusts it can access stored fat, hunger often becomes quieter. Foods that wear a health halo. These are products marketed as healthy, natural, whole grain, low fat, heart-friendly, organic, plant-based, or high energy, but metabolically, many act like fast carbs. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Imagine someone pouring sugar into your bloodstream wearing a lab coat. That's what health marketing often does. The label looks trustworthy, but your physiology only responds to ingredients. Your pancreas does not care if the package says organic. Your insulin does not care if it says whole grain. Your liver does not care if it says gluten-free. Your body responds to starch, sugar, processing, and frequency. Some of the most common hidden carb foods include granola and granola bars instant, oatmeal packets with flavoring, low-fat flavored yogurt smoothies, loaded with fruit juice protein bars with syrups, whole wheat crackers, rice cakes, plant milks with added sugar, breakfast cereals, even healthy ones, dried fruit eaten like candy, Many of these combine starch plus sugar plus low protein, which can spike glucose and insulin quickly, then crash energy later. What the research shows is that ultra-processed foods, even when marketed as healthy, often increase passive overeating, reduce satiety, and disrupt appetite signaling. Texture, speed of digestion, and reward pathways all matter. That means two foods with similar calories can create very different hunger responses. For example, a bowl of sweet granola with almond milk may digest rapidly and leave you hungry in 2 hours, but eggs, avocado, and Greek yogurt may create steadier glucose, lower insulin demand, and longer satiety. Same breakfast window, very different metabolic outcome. This is why many people say, I eat healthy, but I'm starving all day. Because they're eating foods that sound healthy, not foods that stabilize hormones. Here's a practical filter you can use today. Ask 3 questions before eating. Does this contain real protein? Will this keep me full for 4 to 5 hours? Is this food close to its natural form? If the answer is no, it may be a hidden carb trap. Better replacements: eggs instead of cereal, plain Greek yogurt with berries instead of flavored yogurt meat, or leftovers instead of toast nuts and boiled eggs instead of snack bars, chia pudding instead of sugary oats. Repeat this principle. If a food increases hunger soon after eating, it may be working against your fat loss. Constant snacking. Not because snacks are morally bad, not because eating after 6 p.m. is magically toxic, but because every time you eat, especially carbs, insulin usually rises again. And if insulin rises repeatedly from morning to night, your body spends very little time accessing stored fat. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Imagine trying to drain a bathtub while someone keeps turning the faucet back on every 2 hours. That's what many people do metabolically. They want to burn stored fat, but they keep sending refill signals. A coffee with flavored creamer, a handful of crackers, a healthy protein bar, fruit juice, trail mix, a few bites here, a few sips there. Each event may seem small, but hormonally the pattern matters. Your body doesn't only count quantity, it responds to frequency. What the research shows is that compressed eating windows and fewer eating occasions can improve insulin sensitivity, appetite regulation, and energy balance in many people, especially when total nutrition quality improves as well. This doesn't mean everyone must fast aggressively. It means many people benefit from clear meal boundaries. Instead of eating 6 to 10 times a day, they eat 2 to 3 satisfying meals. That creates periods where insulin can fall, and that is where metabolic flexibility improves. Now, if you snack because you're genuinely hungry, that's valuable information. It often means one of 3 things. Your last meal lacked protein, your meal lacked minerals/fiber, and satiety, you're running on stress hormones and unstable glucose. So rather than blaming yourself, investigate the cause. Here's a practical protocol. Step 1. Build stronger meals each meal should contain protein, eggs, chicken, fish, beef, Greek yogurt, healthy fat, olive oil, avocado, nuts, fiber, vegetables, seeds, salad. Step 2. Remove casual snacking, no random bites while cooking, no sugary coffee drinks between meals, no desk grazing. Step 3. Hydrate first. Many cravings are thirst, boredom, or habit. Try water, mineral water, black coffee, or tea first. Step 4. Use a 12-hour eating window, for example. First meal at 8 a.m., last meal by 8 p.m. Then gradually shorten if it feels natural. The goal is not suffering. The goal is allowing insulin to come down between meals. And when that happens, many people notice something powerful: less mental obsession with food, poor sleep, and chronic stress. You can eat clean all day, avoid snacks, and still struggle if cortisol is constantly elevated. Here's what's really going on inside your body. Cortisol is a survival hormone. It helps you wake up, respond to danger, and mobilize energy when needed. In the right amount, it's useful. But when stress becomes chronic, late nights, overwork, anxiety, poor sleep, constant stimulation, cortisol can stay elevated longer than it should. And when cortisol rises often, 3 things commonly happen. Blood sugar rises, insulin rises to manage that glucose, cravings increase, especially for quick carbs. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Your brain under stress wants emergency fuel. It doesn't ask for salmon and broccoli. It asks for chips, bread, sugar, and fast comfort foods. That's not weakness, that's biology. What the research shows is that sleep restriction can worsen insulin sensitivity, increase hunger. Hormones like ghrelin reduce satiety signals like leptin, and increase preference for calorie-dense foods. So when someone sleeps 5 hours, they're not just tired. They are metabolically disadvantaged the next day. This is why many people eat perfectly Monday through Thursday, then lose control Friday night after a week of stress and poor sleep. The root issue was never discipline, it was recovery. Now here's the practical protocol. Sleep first strategy: aim for consistent sleep/wake times, reduce bright screens, 60 minutes before bed, keep bedroom cool and dark, get morning sunlight within 30 minutes of waking, avoid heavy meals right before bed, limit caffeine. After early afternoon, stress lowering strategy: 10-minute walk after meals, slow breathing. Inhale 4 seconds, exhale 6 seconds for 5 minutes, resistance training, 2 to 4 times weekly, journaling or brain dump. Before bed, build moments of calm during the day. Craving emergency tool: if cravings hit at night, try this first. Eat a protein-based dinner, drink water or tea, wait 15 minutes, ask, am I hungry or overstimulated and exhausted? Build meals that naturally shut off cravings, because if your meals do not satisfy you, hidden carbs will find their way back in. Most people try to use willpower against biology. They eat toast for breakfast, a light salad for lunch, then wonder why they're hunting snacks at 4 p.m. That pattern is predictable. Here's what's really going on inside your body. When a meal lacks enough protein, minerals, fiber, and stable energy, the brain often keeps searching. It interprets that meal as incomplete. Then cravings rise, not because you are broken, but because the body is asking for nourishment. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. If you try to heat a house with candles, you'll keep adding candles all day. But if you turn on the furnace once, the house stays warm. Protein is often that furnace. It raises satiety more than refined carbs for many people, helps preserve lean muscle during fat loss, and creates steadier appetite control. What the research shows is that higher protein diets commonly improve fullness, reduce spontaneous calorie intake, and support body composition, especially when paired with resistance training. This is why many people finally feel normal around food when protein increases. They stop thinking about snacks every hour. Now here's a practical meal building framework. The fat loss plate at each meal include 1. Protein anchor, start here, eggs, chicken, fish, beef, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, tofu/tempeh. If preferred, aim for a palm-sized portion or more depending on needs. 2. Fiber volume, leafy greens, broccoli, cauliflower, cucumbers, peppers, mushrooms. These help fullness with minimal glucose impact. 3. Healthy fats, olive oil, avocado, nuts/seeds, butter in moderation. These slow digestion and improve satisfaction. 4. Optional smart carbs, if active or metabolically healthy, berries, beans, potatoes, rice in measured portions. The key is intentional carbs, not constant carbs. Example: day breakfast, eggs plus spinach plus avocado lunch, chicken salad with olive oil dinner, salmon plus vegetables plus small potato snack only if truly hungry, Greek yogurt or boiled eggs. Notice what's missing: random cereal, sugary bars, grazing carbs. Repeat this principle: meal timing, not starvation, not punishment, not extreme fasting trends, just strategic timing that gives your body space between eating signals. Because remember, every time you eat, especially carbohydrates, insulin usually rises. If eating happens constantly, insulin stays elevated more often. If eating is structured, insulin has time to come down. That's where fat access improves. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Think of insulin like traffic on a highway. If cars are entering nonstop, congestion never clears. But when there are breaks, traffic moves again. Your metabolism works similarly. Continuous snacking creates metabolic traffic. Meal spacing creates flow. What the research shows is that early time-restricted eating and consistent meal timing may improve insulin sensitivity, blood sugar control, appetite regulation, and circadian rhythm alignment in many individuals. That means when you eat can influence how your body handles what you eat. Now, this does not mean everyone needs one meal a day. For many people, the sweet spot is much simpler. Level 1, beginner reset, eat 3 meals, no snacks, 12-hour eating window. Example, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Level 2, progress phase, eat 2 to 3 meals, 14-hour overnight fast. Example, finish dinner 7 p.m., first meal 9 a.m. Level 3, advanced, only if it feels good, 2 meals, 16-hour fasting window. Some days. Example, first meal at noon, dinner at 7 p.m. The goal is not to win fasting. The goal is to reduce unnecessary insulin spikes and improve hunger signals. Important warning signs of fasting causes: binge eating, dizziness, obsessive thoughts, poor sleep, low energy all day. Then it is too aggressive for you right now. Back up and rebuild with nutrient-dense meals first. Powerful add-on habit: take a 10-minute walk after meals. Even light movement helps muscles absorb glucose more efficiently, which can reduce the insulin demand of the meal. That small habit can be more powerful than people realize. Repeat this principle: It's not about eating less all day. It's about giving your body defined periods of eating and defined periods of rest. The 7-day hidden carb detox. This is not a cleanse, not a juice fast, not punishment. It's a short metabolic reset designed to lower insulin noise, reduce cravings, and help you identify which foods have been silently blocking progress. Because many people don't realize how inflamed, hungry, and energy unstable they feel until they remove the triggers. Here's what's really going on inside your body. When you repeatedly eat refined carbs, snack foods, sweet drinks, and ultra-processed healthy foods, dopamine and insulin patterns become noisy. Appetite cues get distorted. Energy becomes unpredictable. But when meals become simple and nutrient-dense, those signals often calm down quickly. The 7-day protocol for the next 7 days: remove sugary drinks, fruit juice, breakfast cereal, bread, and pastries, granola/protein bars, flavored yogurt, candy/desserts, constant snacking, liquid calories, cheat bites throughout the day, base meals around eggs, meat, fish, poultry, Greek yogurt, or cottage cheese, vegetables, olive oil, avocado, nuts/seeds, berries. If desired, eat 2 to 3 meals daily. Leave 4 to 5 hours between meals when possible. Stop eating 2 to 3 hours before bed. Walk 10 minutes after meals. Sleep like it matters, because it does. Hydrate well and add electrolytes if needed. What to track each day: rate from 1 to 10. Hunger, cravings, energy, mental clarity, sleep quality, waist tightness/bloating. Many people notice changes within days, not because magic happened, because inflammation lowered, glucose swings reduced, and insulin signaling improved. Important insight: if cravings become intense, don't assume you need sugar. Often you need more protein, more sleep, more minerals, less stress, bigger meals with real food. Final truth: hidden carbs survive in confusion. Once you simplify food, the body often responds fast. Let's bring this home. The hidden carb-killing fat loss is not always dessert. Often it's the repeated intake of foods disguised as healthy, combined with frequent eating, poor sleep, stress, and weak meal structure. That keeps insulin elevated. And when insulin stays elevated, stored fat becomes harder to access. So remember the key principles. Build meals around protein first, remove liquid sugar, and processed snacks, space meals. Instead of grazing, improve sleep to reduce cravings, use meal timing strategically, choose foods that keep you full for hours, simplify eating long enough to hear your body again. This is about more than weight. Better insulin control often means more stable energy, clearer thinking, less hunger, lower inflammation, healthier aging, more freedom around food. Here's my challenge to you: try just one change today. Replace breakfast cereal with eggs. Remove snacks tomorrow. Take a walk after dinner. Sleep 30 minutes earlier tonight. Small actions repeated become metabolic transformation. And if this video added value, like the video and subscribe to join others optimizing their health naturally, one smart step at a time.